School safety remains at the forefront nationwide. Already this year, Education Week reports 11 school shootings that resulted in injuries or deaths. And when incidents and gun-related threats are counted as well, that number climbs much higher. Here in Jefferson County, schools, law enforcement, and 911 dispatchers are all working together to create one of the most connected emergency response systems in the country. I sat down with school officials, the sheriff, and the county's 911 director to discuss how Jefferson County stands out.
W-H, W. Excellent.
When I think of the 911 system and the work they've done with the school, I think it's focused on speed, connection, and coordination.
That speed comes from rethinking how emergencies are handled, starting with the school's security cameras. 911 Director Rob Harrington says they studied school shootings across the country and saw one major flaw. Many camera systems only fed into the school's office, a place often evacuated first in a crisis.
We started to marry the camera systems in the schools back to our 911 centers.
If there is an emergency, our law enforcement officers have a live feed of what's actually happening in the buildings.
That live feed gives dispatchers and officers eyes inside the building the moment a threat begins. But cameras are just one part of the plan.
The other thing is our radios. There's a button right on the radio that connects you directly with 911. So within seconds, you're immediately connected with a dispatcher.
The direct radio link bypasses phones and panic buttons, giving schools a straight line to dispatchers, leaving less room for communication issues.
One thing was the ability to send out an instantaneous alert.
That instantaneous alert is done through an app called Safer Watch, the third prong in a multi-prong approach that safety officials in schools in the county are now using. That eliminates this question.
How are people in remote areas of the county, like out in Burgles or in Adena, how are we going to get that alert and how quickly can we get it?
In rural districts, response time is everything. The sheriff says the new system ensures even the most remote schools are instantly connected.
And it allows school staff to send an instantaneous alert either by their phone or by like a life alert type device that they can wear.
Touch of a button, you're immediately reporting that emergency and the location.
Once an alert is triggered, 911 dispatchers can immediately pinpoint the teacher and classroom where it came from.
The notification is so important because nothing happens until somebody gets notified and we can get the right people on the way.
That level of detail is a major shift from how things worked in the past.
It upped the game a lot because being able to know the location and the teacher who activates that, as opposed to we just got a threat in the past where it might, hey, there's an incident at Edison High School.
The upgrades have also changed expectations for school resource officers, often the first or only one on scene when an incident begins.
We've raised the standard for our resource officers. They've received a lot more training.
And for schools, the result has been a new sense of confidence, clarity, and safety.
And so now we have 3 communication tools available to us that make a world of difference.
Still, leaders know safety planning is an evolving process, one that's been shaped by decades of school tragedies across the country.
As much as I appreciate it as a parent, as much as I appreciate it as somebody who lives in this community, why are you guys putting so much emphasis on this?
Well, obviously everybody knows the need. Society has forced us, by these events over the last 20 or 25 years to look at that and say, okay, what are we going to do about it?
Harrington says the next step is pushing live video directly to officers' phones and iPads in the field. But even as technology grows, he says cooperation remains the biggest factor.
You can't do any of this without cooperation. And sometimes, that doesn't cost anything, but it's very difficult to get. And we've had absolutely 100% cooperation.